What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I am back today to give you guys a review of the Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG in this UNC Reimagined colorway. This is the latest in the Air Jordan Reimagined series, which takes OG colorways of iconic Air Jordans and brings them back with a slight twist. So this is the reimagined version of the Air Jordan 1 in the UNC colorway, which was an original colorway that dropped back in the mid-80s. So these are slated to release worldwide on May 10th, and they retail for $180 US or $235 here in Canada. The official colorway for this shoe is dark powder blue and sail, and these will be available at most Air Jordan retailers, including the Closet Inc. here in Canada. The Closet Inc. is my go-to shop for Air Jordans and Nike Retros, and they're independently owned and operated based right here in Southern Ontario in Canada. So if you want to support a local shop, and if you are located in Canada, check out the Closet Inc. I'll link their socials, their website, all of that good stuff down below. So check them out and tell them that you heard about them through me. So the last time we got a retro of the UNC Jordan 1s was back in 2015. And fast forward a decade later, they're bringing them back, but the twist on this shoe is that it's given this aged appearance, which kind of makes it feel like it's taken straight from the 80s with this cracked leather and of course the sail or cream colored midsole. Here's a quick look at the box though. So this comes in a special box just for this release, and as you can see, it's done in this mismatching lid and bottom pairing. So the top lid, this is your typical Jordan 1 box where it's black with Nike branding on the top in red, but then the bottom of the box is done in orange with Nike branding here. So this is like the reverse of the reimagined Chicago ones or the Lost and Founds, but it's like the inverse. But the same idea applies where it's almost like you found this shoe that's been in storage since the 80s, and it's kind of reasonable to think that you wouldn't have the original pairing of the bottom of the box and the top lid. So as for the shoe itself, taking a deep dive into the details, as we start things off with the toe box, you'll see this is covered in this sail colored leather. And just like any other Jordan 1, we have these perforations all across, but if you look real close, it has this very subtle cracked appearance to it. Surrounding the front toe cap, the leather here is not cracked, and this is actually a fairly thick cut of powder blue leather, and this also covers the eyelets of the sneaker as well. Underneath this, we have more of that very subtly cracked sail colored leather, and we have a powder blue colored swoosh stitched on top. Further down, covering the bottom of the heel, we have another overlay of this powder blue colored leather on the side wing or flap of the shoe. And on the lateral side only, we have the Air Jordan Wings logo. This is debossed in this flat white colored finish. And then on the top collar area of the sneaker, the leather here is very cracked, a lot more cracked than the leather on the side panel and the toe box, which if you've seen vintage Jordan 1s from the 80s, it seems like this collar is usually the first area where the leather breaks down and cracks, so it kind of makes sense they gave this area a bit more of a cracked look. As far as the laces go, so this pair comes with two different lace options. One of the laces that they come with is a powder blue colored lace, which works if you want to give the shoe more contrast, but for me, I prefer the sail colored laces, and I like how it kind of blends in more with the color of the tongue. Speaking of the tongue, it's also given a bit of a vintage feel where it's colored in this very light cream sort of tone. This is a full nylon tongue, and on the top we have this tag with Nike Air branding in blue. The interior of the shoe is lined in this silky smooth powder blue colored liner, and like any Jordan 1 high, it's decently padded, not overly stuffed, but not too thin either. And then for the insoles, these come with a polyurethane foam insole, which is decently padded. It has a good amount of squish to it. On the top, it's covered in this white finish, and we have Nike Air branding pressed onto the heel. So the upper of the shoe sits atop this solid rubber cupsole, which is painted in this cream color, giving it more of that vintage feel. Encased within this midsole but not visible to the eye, we do have Nike Air technology, and then on the bottom, the outsole here is your classic Jordan 1 outsole. However, fitting with the rest of the shoe, it's given this vintage looking finish where the blue rubber almost has like this white wash to it. So I thought this worked perfectly with the look of the upper. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this shoe. And for those wondering about how these fit, to me these fit like any other recent Jordan 1 high, so I personally go true to size. I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, so I got these in a size 10 and they fit me comfortably, not too snug, not too loose. Whatever size you normally wear for Jordan 1s, I'd stick with that same size. If you've never worn a Jordan 1 before, I feel like for most people, going true to size should fit unless you have like a really wide foot. You might want to consider going up half a size. Moving on to the comfort, so these feel like any other Jordan 1. So the underfoot feeling, there's not too much from a softness and step-in comfort perspective. For a casual, everyday use sneaker, they're gonna be fine, but they're more on the flatter and firmer side, especially when you compare it to some of the more modern day sneakers in today's marketplace. However, the Jordan 1s are one of those tried and tested sneakers, kind of like a Dunk or an Air Force 1. So while I don't necessarily find them to be that comfortable, a lot of people swear by them, but if you're someone that appreciates those 80s style sneakers that have a bit more of a firmer feel underfoot, then you'll love these. Finally, in terms of the quality and craftsmanship, so first off, the material quality I thought was pretty solid. It's not a crazy high quality leather, but they do utilize genuine leather basically all across the upper. Nothing on this sneaker has an overly synthetic feel to it, which was nice to see. And I thought the build of the shoe was pretty good. Some of the panels weren't really symmetrical between my left and right feet, but it was very, very minor. Aside from that though, the stitch job was good. It was free of glue stains, so it's not perfect, but for a mass-produced Air Jordan, I really couldn't complain. So with all of that out of the way now, let's toss these on feet, I'll lace them up, and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, it's great to see the UNC Jordan 1 back, albeit I would have preferred just a clean, proper, brand new looking retro, but I get what Jordan's doing with the Reimagined series. And even though I prefer my shoes to look brand new when they're new, for what this is, I'm really not mad at it. It's still a solid retro, and I know the hype on Jordan 1s have really dipped down compared to a few years ago, so that's probably a good thing for those who are looking to grab these for retail. I don't think these are gonna fetch much over retail. The hype for the silhouette just isn't really there. So I think if you put in a decent amount of work next Saturday, you should be able to land a pair for yourself. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this UNC Reimagined Air Jordan 1? What are your overall thoughts on the colorway and the fact that they've given it this aged treatment? Are you more of a fan of your new sneakers looking new, or do you appreciate this vintage vibe that this shoe has? There's no right or wrong answer. Leave your thoughts down below. And as usual, if you guys enjoyed this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I'll link my social media accounts, all that good stuff down below. And again, be sure to check out The Closet Inc. if you're watching from Canada. So thank you again for tuning into the video, and I'll catch everybody in my next review.